turn my microphone on, and then I should be able to turn your microphones on, and then if you talk,
Hello.
theoretically
Yay.
people can hear you.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
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 Hey.
Hey, we all exist.
List.
Hey, can
Yay,
hear?
we can hear.
Yay, thank
Yay.
you, Dove. Dove, I can't wait for you to get all the good sleep today.
Yes.
Cannot
I
wait.
should not.
Dove,
We sure know.
Dove is sleep goals.
Yeah.
Should sleep twice as hard so we can all catch up on sleep.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Are we all mentally prepared for today?
Why not?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
sure.
So true.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see if
We'll
it
see what
happens.
happens.
Alright, has everyone got their good microphones and stuff set? Dove says nope.
I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear.
Hooray!
Okay. That
think
means it's
everything's
pulling in the microphone.
Yeah, now we just gotta wait for Gast to like lean back from their microphone in the chair.
I've just locked the chair and
You've
I've
locked
put
the chair?
microphone a little, and the microphone's been pulled forward. Oh,
Wow.
I need my dice now.
Yeah, get some dice.
I have
I
all the dice. I don't know which ones I trust yet.
Yeah, we love hearing your
You
dice,
know.
Tower.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love just being like, oh, it's the best. That was a 2.
I had rolled
Dice.
my party member who was 50-50 death saving throws with 2 success, 2 failures, and I rolled an out 1.
Oh, where'd that happen?
Yesterday?
Ow.
Yeah, also another NPC died. That's fine. One that was in our party. That's fine. We're fine.
Dude, killing NPCs. For shit.
Yeah,
For
we
shit.
didn't mean to. We didn't mean to. This time it's NPCs who we don't kill, but the Dreamhunter kills. So a little bit better on the consciousness. I
F's in
thank
chat.
you.
F's in chat, everyone.
F's in chat.
Yes, we know, Dove. We know. I was there for that.
Please don't kill
I
off all
know.
your NPCs. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm ready. If I'm ready to know. I don't. Am I ready to know?
Yeah,
What's
let's
gonna
go.
happen in this damn episode?
Yeah, let's go. Full send.
This episode scares me, man.
It is a bit spooky.
This episode scares me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Just need to scare.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
So you might remember, those of you who watched last time, or those of you who played, which is you 4 here, or 3, sorry, I'm included in that 4. Last episode, we went and we investigated and interrogated extremely professionally, did not leave a single stone unturned, definitely asked the right questions to everyone in the camp.
Yeah.
No hat shenanigans were afoot.
Yeah, correct. There was no
that
hat
one-
shenanigans.
that
We
one-
No. Wait, I don't have the hat. What are you talking about? I never had the hat.
Yeah. there since have been some role plays, where I believe we narrowed it down. Hold on, let me just for posterity's sake, let me find that sources, and I'm gonna add in the. Surely I've got that image. I can just save it.
Lamb sauce?
Sorry,
Lamb sauce?
you're a lamb sauce.
I am lamb sauce.
Without context, I'm just gonna share this.
Concerning.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Conspiracy.
There
board.
was a lot of character development.
Yeah. We have.
See, Dove gets it. Dove gets
Yeah.
Dove gets
Learning
it.
code.
Okay, if you want to know, let's load an image in, and it's going to be a new image, and it's going to be this new image. Where in the heck?
The Gordon Ramsay reference. That's what you get. You win an idiot sandwich.
I was sure I just saved that, but it's not there. Oh yes, it is.
Okay.
Disregard.
Hey!
Without any context. We had a conspiracy board. If you want to know what that was about, you need to go into. You need to have a look on the Discord because there was some fun stuff happened.
Yes.
You need to see.
All our characters are 100% okay after that conspiracy board.
Yeah.
And none of them had to apologize.
Yeah.
No, there was no apologies.
There was no apologies. There was no breaking down in the room.
No. There was a lot of breakdowns in like 12 hours.
Yeah.
2 of them were from Ali. Sorry, I did say that. No, no breakdowns from Ali.
No breakdowns. Not at all.
No.
Yeah, we need to call roadside assistance at this point. With the amount of breakdowns we're having. But yeah. Did you miss something in the role play?
You did.
Probably.
It's a lot of things.
Your research.
In any case, they do have a conspiracy board, and they have labeled. Oh gosh, if I bring it back up, they have labeled Nim and Hollis and Worrell and Elosar all as suspicious. All as suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah. I thought we did a good job on our conspiracy board. Nice.
We did.
Nice work.
We did.
So this is part two. So you spent the first episode investigating and trying to figure out what was going on. And after getting back to the caravan, realized maybe there was some more questions you want to ask before you take this back to Lelia, right? So before you go back to Lelia and the court that she has set up in the woods near the caravans, you decided during your roleplay that you're going to want to go and investigate some of these people again. The real question is, as the group gathers out the front, the first that is there is Ali. Ali, you left early in the morning from the caravan.
Yes, I
believe,
did.
and you've been standing outside in the snow for quite a while. Could you roll a perception for me?
Sure. 18.
18. Excellent. Apart from some foxes and a hare that run through the wilderness nearby, you do not see anyone else moving on this dark night. Moonless night, this one. But you do hear some crunching in the snow behind you. Although, a second later, a blanket is wrapped around you. It is Lee.
I hold the blanket.
Yeah. Lee also puts a hat on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're you're supposed to be catching the hat, not giving it back.
I'm a hunter. I like to chase. She gives you a hug. You're gonna freeze to
have to
death
go
out
back.
here.
Don't really feel the cold.
Yeah.
Cold never bothers you anyway.
Yeah, the cold never bothered you anyway.
Just to bring.
Breaks into song immediately.
Yeah.
Not very long after that, in fact, is when Eska and Requin have risen and meet out the front of the caravan to discuss the plan ahead. As you trudge through the snow, you do see Lee and Ali sitting on small stools out the front of the caravan. Lee seems to be cooking some sort of breakfast in a frying pan.
Okay. Is there bread?
There is bread. It's
Yay.
toasting on the rocks near the fire. Requin, Eska, as you see this scene, the sun has not yet risen, but you couldn't sleep either. What would you like to do? We seem to have lost Requin and Eska. No, there they are. Hello.
No, we're here. I was letting Kendall go first.
Ah.
No, I don't have much to add. She will walk over and probably sit near the other two, watching the frying pan and waiting to see who will speak up first.
Lee says, "Morning," as the two of you approach. She looks at Eska and sort of gives him a real like sneaky wink, and then picks up a rock from around the fire and puts it in the frying pan.
He'll walk over and sit with the others.
Wait, so would magma just be toast?
Yeah, probably.
Says Requin to Eska.
Well, at least the ice is broken now.
Yeah. What's your response to that, Eska? Is magma just toast to you?
I think it would burn a little too much.
Burn a little too much?
Yeah.
How unfortunate. Lee quickly throws the breakfast onto a few plates. She has cooked all your favorites, including a rock for Eska. And immediately as she passes it out, she says, "All right, y'all, what's the plan?"
Well, we've got some more information together. We have 4 suspects to find, so...
Copy that. Suspects, says Lee, loading more bullets into her rifle.
I believe we have somewhat semblance of a plan, and we'll eat and make our way and find these people.
Perfect. So, you begin to eat your breakfast, and it is not long before it is finished. Everyone feels the tenseness of this situation. It is extremely nerve-wracking. What if you make the wrong decision? Everyone eats in silence, but it is soon all finished, and the party stands up, dusts himself off, straightens their clothes, prepares their gear. Where are you heading off to first?
Well then, who should we start with?
You look at your conspiracy board, which Eska has brought with him.
I did not bring that up. There's no way.
You look at the conspiracy board that Ali drew. It's a carbon copy.
Yeah. Should we start with the fox?
Going fox hunting. I like it, says Lee.
Alright.
I'll follow you.
Catch him off guard in this time of morning.
Requin? Lead the way.
Excellent.
She'll just walk to Whirl.
Perfect.
Man.
Lee taps Requin on the shoulder. Morning, Requin. Sort of walking at the front of the party.
Good morning.
I've been doing some scouting. Ali seemed to want some time to herself. But I saw that damn fox hanging out with the chef. I think he drank a bit too much. He's sleeping around their fire. That's where we should go.
Alright then.
And Requin makes a slight left turn and heads over towards the caravans with Mino and Grolp the chef. And scene. Okay.
Oh, flawless.
Flawless. Let's move the maps. Okay, so it is not long before Requin and Lee and Ali and Jack and Eska
And skeletons.
and Eska's army of skeletons. Eska, wanting to be as intimidating as possible, has brought all their skeletons. The camp is quiet. The fire has burnt down. It is low. It is dim, and again, a moonless night. Something about this seems ominous to you, but still, you persevere. Requin, you are leading. Please look around. Roll perception.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That will be a 24.
24. Excellent. You see that most people are away in their caravans, asleep, but over near the fire, you do see a few shapes. Several of them appear to be goblins, and they appear to be asleep, wrapped up in bundles of blankets and little sacks of wheat and grains, things like that. And in amongst them is Worrell. Seems to have wrapped himself up in some blankets and is nestled between the fire and the chef's caravan, because the chef's caravan is still smolderingly warm, still having the kitchens. It's doubtful whether he ever turns those ovens off.
Seems like a hazard, but alright.
Yeah. Listen, orc chefs are not really known to be, like, the most cautious, but still.
Alright. Requin will stride over to Worrell. While he's still asleep, they'll just observe him and his posture. Before...
Creepily watching him sleep, copy that.
Yeah? Sure. Is there any remnants of food around him, or, like, plates?
That's a good question. Please roll perception or investigation. Would probably be more particular.
Okay. Well, instead of the last 15, that was a 5, so it's going to be a 14.
There is things spread around, but the goblins have done a good job. They have cleaned up almost everything from last night. There are a few scattered bits of food and grains and stuff that they've missed in the snow and around, but there is nothing else of interest. And no way for you to tell what Worrell ate yesterday.
Can she pick up whatever's nearest to her?
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
What?
You pick up whatever's next to them. Please re-roll.
Okay. I feel like that should... That... Okay. That was pretty good. Wait. Thank you, Dove. That is a 26.
26. The good witch has come through. One of the plates just seems to shine and glisten, and you feel like you hear a voice on the wind. Carried with the snow. Look again, it says. Look again. You do. You pick it up. It seems to be Worrell's plate. You can see that it has a small insignia on the bottom, and it is engraved with his name. It's a traveling plate, part of a set that basically all of you have.
Interesting.
Mm.
Her current plan is to essentially clean up, but in the loudest way possible. Wake him up without, like, purposefully waking him up.
Perfect. Requin begins cleaning the kitchen. While Requin is doing that, Eska and Ali, what are you doing? Lee has trotted over here and is just sort of sitting, polishing their gun in the general direction of Worrell.
Eska will go up to the goblins, gently wake them up, and get them to move along.
Excellent. Okay, please roll a persuasion. As you wake the two goblins up, they rub their eyes and they stand there and just, oh, time for work already. Oh, God. Wait, who are you? says one of them, sort of jumping and looking at Esker.
That's a 19 on the roll. I am Esker. This is not a place for you to be right now. Go find some work elsewhere.
Thanks you much for the sub, you absolute legend. We appreciate it. Sup gang, sup back. The goblins leap up. They look suspiciously at you. But they're pretty easy to convince. One of them looks at you just a little bit confused. Are you sure? We should be getting to work soon. The other one says, don't be stupid, he's giving us the day off. At this, the other goblin is just astounded. Oh my god! Of course. Yeah, we'll go be elsewhere. Says the goblin, and they both scuttle off into the wilderness nearby.
What if they come through?
Quite a lot. Working hospitality sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
So, now there is no one else outside in the wagons. Theoretically, Mino is in their wagon. Theoretically, Grolp is in his. Theoretically, there are other goblins in the tents and trailers nearby, but the only one inside is Worrell, and they are still sleeping soundly. They let out a small little, like, and roll over and tuck themselves back in. Requin is beginning to clean up, but it is important to know where Ali and Jack and the Skellingtons are. So, Ali, whereabouts would you like to be? What are you doing?
Ali is gonna come and just find a place to sit where there's light, shadow, like light coming over on one side, but like shadow covering the other side of her face, and she's just going to stand there and get out the dagger that Lee gave her and start sharpening her nails.
Nice.
Let's go.
You managed to use Requin as a perfect shadow giver. Requin is blocking some of the light from the fire. So, yeah, they make a striking silhouette on one half of your body as you clean your nails and trim them with the dagger made of silver. What about Jack?
I don't know, what is Jack doing? I didn't give him any commands.
Jack
He just follows.
Yeah, Jack just follows. He's sort of peering into one of the tents suspiciously. He does weird things like that. What about the Skellingtons, Esker?
The Skellingtons will stand in the gaps between the tents and the wagons. Sort of.
That's not intimidating.
Yeah, no, that's entirely what it's meant to be. Weapons drawn. So yeah, if anything happens, Worrell potentially can't get away that easily.
Nice. So, Requin, everyone in place, you have been investigating just how much disruption you can make with this. Could you please roll a performance check? How performatively outraged are you at having to clean up this kitchen?
You know what? I rolled a 2.
Oh,
Yes!
That's plus 12, so 14.
14. Not bad. Not your best work, but you are disruptive. You are frustrated. You play the part perfectly well. Partly because you are frustrated. You don't like doing dishes. Nobody does.
Yep.
Nobody does. You pick them up, and you slam them into the wash basket. You clang them together just loud enough to be annoying. Worrell rolls over in his sleep. And then bolts awake. Oh, what? What's going on? Oh, it's you. Come for Wait, it's not breakfast time? Are we kicking on? He says, looking around at the still dark skyline. I hope you brought booze, because I'm all out. He, picks up an empty wine bottle and tips it upside down. Pity, good drop. He seats himself on a crate. He seems to be rummaging around in it as he looks sort of left and right, seeing if anyone's watching, and starts rummaging around in one of Grolp's crates, looking for more wine, theoretically. He looks up at Esker. Ah, Esker, my dear man, what can I do for you? Do you have any of that nice ale?
I suggest you sit, sir.
Well, I am, he says, pointing at the crate. Don't suppose you've got a bit of nosh for breakfast, do you?
That can wait.
This is a bit early. He crosses one leg across the other, and he seems to have found a small bottle of something. Takes a sip. Ooh, aniseed. Well, I suppose it'll do in a pinch. Would you like some? He holds it out to Requin.
She'll sort of stare at him a little bit. Usually, a usual intimidation gleaming in her eyes, and could I pass detect thoughts?
Yes.
On this
Please make an intimidate first.
Absolutely. What do I intimidate for? Oh, that's an 18 plus 12. I believe that's a 30.
He didn't roll too bad either. That's a 16 on the dice. He does seem a little bit intimidated by you. His eyebrows sort of furrow a little bit in the middle, as though he's a little bit confused, a little bit worried now. He sort of looks around at the skeletons and Ali, looking quite suspicious. Ali, would you like to roll an intimidate? Are you being low-key intimidating? Lee is. Lee's not very intimidating, though. She waves at Worrell before she remembers she's supposed to be intimidating. That's what you get when you roll a 2, Lee.
I got 17.
17. Yeah, Ali's pretty intimidating as well. Cast your detect thoughts, Requin. What save do I need to make?
Well, so I've been reading this spell.
I just feel like you're explaining this to Worrell. So I've been reading this spell, and it lets me read your thoughts. This is even more intimidating.
Okay, she rolled the 30. Like, how is that gonna be more intimidating?
Yeah.
So essentially, I have to sense people's thoughts before I can read the thoughts.
Sure.
So essentially, in combat, it's like on one turn you do this, on the other turn you do this. I don't know how it works outside of combat, but
similar way, you'll get the general gist of their feelings, and then be able to detect the thoughts afterwards.
Yeah, and then I can probe deep into their mind and. You discern the target's reasoning, emotions, and something that looms large in its mind, such as a worry or hate. So I'll work up to that. Essentially, she's gonna start like sensing his thoughts, though.
Okay, sensing thoughts first. What save does Worrell need to make?
Whiz save.
He has rolled a 16.
Oh no, that was just my roll. Then I'm gonna silvery barbs that.
Ooh. That is a 14.
That will not succeed, yay. So
Excellent.
sorry.
You stare deep at Worrell. He seems to be feeling quite tired, hungover, a little bit worried, and he's essentially just slightly confused is the feelings that you get. Do I need to make another save for the second turn?
Really? Until the spell ends, as a magic action on your later turns, that one creature you can see that you detected with the sense thoughts, you learn what is the most on the target's mind right now. So it doesn't specify.
That's excellent. So now that you are in his mind and you can sense his thoughts and his feelings, now you can sense in his mind. Excellent. It seems the most pressing thing in his mind right now is that he is hungry. He is thirsty. He seems to be looking to eat and drink and be merry.
And then I'll just like slightly look at Eska as a sense of do your interrogation sort of thing.
You give him the secret nod and a wink.
No wink, but a nod, yes.
Eska will go up to Worrell and ask. Oh, so many questions. Ask him why he finds himself in this caravan.
You know, Brother Esker, I travel from here to there, much the same as you. 'Tis the road that I travel.
Yeah, that seems about right. Of a response.
What do Esker?
Yeah. Why so much secrecy with you?
He
You deflect every question.
Reckon you're still detecting thoughts, right?
It's concentration.
Yeah.
You notice that Worrell is now no longer thinking about eating and drinking. Worrell is now thinking about a big secret he has. Something that he feels like he has been found out. He is feeling extremely guilty and is very worried. He's flashing through emotions, fear, worry. What can he do? Nonsense. I'm merely a traveler. I am just here to travel through and share stories. I love hearing about all the things you do, of course, Eska, says Worrell.
Eska will cock his head and go, yes, but what do you do?
Worrell rolls a persuasion. I have told you, I'm merely a traveler. I go where the road takes me, and my travels sustain me. It's fine. There's always something to be found lying around. Reckon you sense within Worrell a sort of sudden frustration with himself, as though he said something that he wishes he hadn't.
I'll give you another chance to answer my question truthfully this time, and the skeletons will step one step forward.
Oh, nice.
Yes, let's go.
Do. And Jack dances. Excellent. Please make an intimidation check, Eska.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Excellent. Worrell falls to his knees in front of you. He says, Please, no, you can't. You can't turn me in. I'll do better. I'll never do it again. Please. He's like literally just on the snow, like on his knees, scuttling up to Eska, holding onto your hand, trying to beg for forgiveness.
And what is it you did?
I took it all. He begins just like emptying his pockets. Spoons, gold, a necklace, a brooch, an empty bottle, some toy of some description. Things pile out onto the snow. Please, I promise I'll never do it again. Don't turn me into Lelia. She'll have me arrested.
Well, is that all? You're just a simple thief?
Simple? Sir, I am a master thief. Yes. Simple. Simple thief. Yes, I merely just did what I had to survive. I promise.
This, pointing at the stuff on the floor, does not look like survival. And why are you taking toys from children?
They were just lying around. I swear.
Ellie's gonna pipe up and ask in Thieves' Cant if he works for anyone.
He rolls a wisdom save. Oh my god. He breaks down in the snow. He's like, no, I am the master thief. I admit it. I'm wanted in basically every state. You may as well just take me in. I don't know how you found out.
You let your fear show.
He holds himself head down, arms down, slumped over, and he walks over to a small. Well, where is he? Hold on. Worrell walks over to a small sack that is over near one of the caravans and kicks it over. There is just tons of stuff falls out. Plates, spoons, a random roll of string. He seems to be a kleptomaniac.
I guess that solves a mystery we didn't know existed.
I throw myself at your mercy. Please, let me go. I'll not do it again. I promise.
You still answer this. Stealing from these people is not how we do things. Lali will see you just after dawn.
He sort of looks for an escape, but Lee grabs him and claps some manacles around his wrists. Lee is, of course, a hunter, and used to and still does hunt werewolves. She is prepared for things in human form. She tips her hat to Eska. I got him from here, Sheriff.
Take him to Lalia. She needs to deal with this.
And Lee leads Worrell away. Oh gosh, this is going to be difficult because I've got to do a mini and a digital thing. Like, that's the wrong way. Where are we going? Oh no, this is really. Oh god, go Worrell, go. Okay, that was really hard to do.
That was got to be by far one of the worst things I've ever met.
So.
Well done, S, for
yes.
making another one cry. I'm proud of you.
As you are
Remind me
gathering
not
up.
to have.
Oh, sorry, go.
I was gonna say, remind me not to have any heartfelt conversations with you.
Me? Delightful.
As you are gathering up all the stolen things as evidence and to try to return it to the owners, although there is quite a lot of stuff here, Lee eventually returns, having taken him away. She comes back dusting her hands. All right, I took him in the woods and I shot him.
Lee.
All
Sorry.
right. Y'all can see right through me. I don't know how you do that, Eska. No, he's locked
My
up.
blood.
Alright. Well, suppose that's one down. 3 to go.
Yeah,
Four.
4 people we want to talk to left.
Huh.
3 suspects. 1
3 suspects.
interesting one.
Alright. Who y'all looking for next?
Well,
I did not hear that, Esker.
Well, you've got the centaur, the owl, and Nim. Who do we want?
Guess whoever we find first.
Says Lee. I saw that damn owl thing staring at the woods on my way over here.
Means we don't have to go looking far.
Lee turns around. If I know that damn stargazer, he's still gonna be there.
Leads the way. Sorry.
So.
Oh, no, she'll follow. Yeah.
Esker leading the way, the party moves forward. And the scene changes. Elosa. Where are you, my friend? In the fire, apparently. Oh my god. Elisar is not in the fire.
Oh.
Oh my god, was it an aw?
Yes.
Excellent. As you come into the clearing, where are we going to put this here? As you come into the clearing, Esker leading the way, Ali and Lee and Requin. As promised by Lee, Elisar is just hanging around. Skeletons, Jack. Elisar is just hanging around. Also in this little area, you see sleeping in sleeping bags.
Bet.
I can probably turn them around. Okay, so Fet's sleeping in a sleeping bag here. It's not quite sure whose sleeping bag it is, but they are. And sleeping in the same sleeping bag over here, that's the wrong way around, is Hensel and Tobia. They are still asleep at this point as you approach. What would you like to do? Elisar is the only one awake and just seems to be staring blankly into the woods.
Well then, who's taking this case?
How much do people know about stars?
I know they exist.
I can navigate by them, but that's about it, says Lee.
I know a couple of constellations.
It's
For a reason I don't know.
It is not a matter of matching his interests. It's a matter of listening, letting him ramble on.
You're good at rambling, Requin. Why don't you take this
one? Lee chuckles under her breath at this obvious dig.
Oh, it appears you're a bit too sleepy to understand me. That's alright. And she'll just wander off to Elisa.
Excellent. Requin makes their way around the camp and stands near Elisar. The owl is just catatonic, just staring into the woods, hasn't even acknowledged your approach.
Yep. Okay. She'll put her hand on his shoulder and say, "What intrigues you this morning?"
There is no response.
Yeah, okay.
Allie walks over and kneels beside Elsa. How tall is Elsa?
Elisar's pretty tall. He's like 6.5 foot.
Oh, well, so he's taller than Allie.
Yeah.
She's still gonna sit down.
Yep.
Sit down in the snow and look up at the stars. Is it cloudy?
It is not. No, moonless nights. There is some clouds around, but it's definitely not. You wouldn't call it a cloudy night.
Okay. Do I recognize any constellations in the sky currently?
Ooh. Do you have a skill check you would like to use to try to identify some? Otherwise, just roll straight intelligence.
I mean, I don't think I have anything that would work, and all my intelligence skills are +1 anyway.
Nice. Please make your intelligence
A 10?
10. Unfortunately, you do not. If there are any constellations you are aware of in the sky, they are covered by the clouds currently.
Damn it.
Says Ali. LSR does not move.
We don't make mistakes. We
Uh,
have happy
Ooh.
accidents.
Okay,
Ali,
okay, I'm gonna
as
use
the clouds
a different
shift, you look again.
Oh my god, I rolled worse. I got an 8 that time. I'm sorry.
The only constellation you can see in the sky is one that looks like a good witch shaking their head at you.
Well, I point to that one and I go, I think the stars are disappointed in me tonight.
Oh, LSR like snaps around at you, his head like turning not the right way, but like turning all the way around to stare down at Ali in a weird owl way. Just, which stars do you mean?
I point to the witchy stars.
LSR's head like spins all the way back around like 120 degrees and he tilts his head up towards the sky. Oh, that is rather curious. It does seem to be disappointed. I've not seen that before.
Allie then looks to Requin like, ask your question.
She will start in a way, I suppose. I assume she's seen Allie like fiddling with coins in her hand and whatnot and cards. Requin will cast starry wisps and have them sort of float around her fingers, trying to keep his interest as they're like little bright radiant stars.
Nice.
And begin to talk, just like keep your attention on me sort of thing.
Okay, perfect.
Really, in all your years of studying the stars, I can't help but wonder what made you decide to study them.
Excellent. Perfect. So, he turns his head around. He's still facing the other way, but now his head's facing back towards Requin. It's very creepy. He says, "But nobody chooses to study the stars. Do you not see?" And he points like the opposite direction up to the sky. "The stars talk to us all."
I do not believe that.
His eyes are creepy, like big pools of black at the moment. Just the pupils are so wide. Unblinking, just looking at you.
Yeah. I do not believe that. The stars are useful, sure. They're not exactly needed for survival.
Lee, you hear Lee like call out from the other side of the camp. Navigation right here. But LSR shakes his head. "I'm sorry, my dear, but the stars are of vital importance. Can you not see?" And his head like again creepily turns around 180 degrees and he's like staring up into the sky again. "Look at the shape they make. Darkness. Tiny spots of light, like all the people of the world. And around them, dimness. Void. They tell a story. And they tell a story of death. I have been seeing it for many long months. Nothing here. makes sense.
And you've decided to stay.
Elisar, without turning around to look at you, just says, "But where else would I go? Were I to leave the caravan, I would surely perish. This is the only way through. Regardless of what the stars tell me, I know that I will survive."
Are you so certain of that?
He takes a second, and then turns his head around to face Requin again. "I must be. For otherwise it is to surrender to death himself."
Ooh. This wording, I didn't get it before when Eskel was talking, but now I do get it from his speaking. It's great. Okay. New.
Elisar has
death.
just like stopped talking again.
Yeah. She'll ask him, do you fear death then?
I do not. And Elisar turns around again to face the stars. "For I see his bright face amongst the stars. I shall join them someday, there in the heavens, where the endless dream lives."
You just don't want to yet.
I know sparingly few that look forward to that final sleep. And those who do, we should pity more than others.
Ooh, okay. Does Esker have his heartfelt?
If you'd like him to, you can.
It is, it is not something that you can detect, Requin, but they may.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a way to communicate with them? Or Esker could just be doing it.
Esker could just be doing it. I think he would. He wouldn't have needed to use it against the fox because we already pre-planned that one pretty well. That's a 24, that's a 22, 24 wins. 24 on investigation for Heartfelt.
24 on the investigation for Heartfelt. Excellent. Elisar's heart seems to be just beating very slow and steady. I've actually got a sound for that. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear it, but chat might be able to. Slow, steady heartbeat. Elisar's just stopped talking again. He's just staring off into the sky. You fear that if it started raining, he might drown if his mouth was open. Can't wait for Fett to wake up and just see skeletons.
Yes. Absolutely. Requin's going to try now to provoke him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, fun times. So the starry wisps in her hand she'll flick them off and dispel them, and will walk to face his body, so regardless where his head is, and we'll stare him down, not caring if he's looking away.
I think you're slightly taller than Elisar, so you could probably stand quite close and look into their eyes.
Perfect. Cool perks, everybody.
Woo!
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah. Sad. Very sad. We'll have to, I don't know, get Eska to levitate you again.
No.
If you'd like to be told.
No.
When?
Alright, Lee's got my back.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Let's come get a piggyback from Lee.
Oh my god. I'm putting that on my list of things to do.
Yep.
Mm.
No.
So, you are staring down the owl, now staring directly into those inky black orbs again. They still, like, it's like they haven't even noticed that you are now blocking the stars.
Ooh. Man, he's such an intricate character.
Yeah, he's got a lot and nothing going on at all times.
That's literally it. I've got to choose my words carefully here.
Allie's gonna slowly stand up and back away a little bit.
Ali sees that
Really?
look in Requin's eyes, just like,
Not what, just like a couple of steps back.
Wow.
Lee-
Like, I don't think I should be on the ground for what's about to happen.
Lee like leads Jack slightly away from Tobia and Hensel, because Jack's been trying to give them a hug this whole time.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Jack, okay? Have I been neglecting Jack? Is that what I'm learning?
No, Jack's just getting like more and more personality. He's just growing as an individual. He was just a lifeless
Aw.
skeleton until you put the pumpkin on his head.
Oh, he put Jack on his head.
Yeah.
Jack is the pumpkin.
Correct. Jack's never had a body before, so the pumpkin's never been able to hug anyone.
Oh.
What do,
Okay.
Requin?
Okay, I think I have words maybe. Keep in mind.
Says Requin quietly
My
to
mind.
himself.
Keep in mind, my mind is not at its peak this evening, which is wonderful for me. Alright, so staring.
Good thing it's not
Directly
an
into his
important
eye.
episode.
Yeah, I know, right? I told my brain to get good sleep and it didn't. But
No.
that's okay.
It's welcome to my world.
Yeah. So staring into his eyes directly, they'll not look away. And they'll say, "How have you not died? Your perception is truly lacking. You're oblivious to everything. Only the stars which seem to forsake you.
Wow.
Anything could happen at this moment."
What skill are you using for this?
Ooh.
Are you trying to persuade them to talk to you? Are you trying to intimidate them into it?
Yeah, probably just provoking them more, so probably persuasion, I'd assume.
Persuade away.
Persuade away. What do I roll? That's not horrible. That is a 17.
Ooh. Elisar's pupils like suddenly contract. Back to having like fairly normal looking eyes, and his feathers like ruffle a little bit. It's just, what? I can look after myself. How dare you?
Really?
I haven't died. Not even once. He stomps his foot on the ground.
And why would that be? Are you truly just that powerful? I don't believe someone like you could survive out here that long.
I can survive all on my own, says Elisar, and he sort of turns around and heads back over to his sort of bedroll, and like immediately trips on one of the bags and falls in the snow. I can look after myself. Oh! So turns around and dusts himself off, stands back up, looks directly at Requin. That doesn't prove anything.
I won't regard his statement, or his falling for that matter. Just still staring directly at his face. She'll step a little bit closer and then
It's that slow walk.
a slow walk. Yeah.
This is what Elisar hears in his head, chat, when Requin starts walking towards him. Just pure horror movie sound. His eyes are like really wide.
Okay. Using that he's now ruffled up.
Yeah. He does look fluffier than normal.
Yes. She'll ask him, "Why are you here?"
I'm journeying. I must travel. I must see all the stars. I must know. I must see this doom. Why is the world like this? We must know, says Elisar.
Knowledge is power. Although, I can't help but wonder, with so many deaths around this caravan, and yet you remain untouched. It's rather suspicious.
What? 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 Suspicious? Oh, phew, I've never heard such outrageous. This is uncalled for. Sort of ruffles his feathers again, pulls his cloak clumsily around him, takes 2 goes to do it. I shall be lodging a formal complaint against you. Welcome in. Elisar seems utterly ruffled by your approach. Tobier suddenly wakes up, waking his mum as well. This will throw some. This will throw some like extra shit in the mix of trying to figure out what's going on. Because now Tobier has like scrambled out of bed, and Hensel gets up on her knees and sort of like hugs him close, seeing all of you suddenly around them. What's going on here? What are you doing? It's like holding her son close. Fet's still snoring. You're sure you hear the sound of like mushrooms as she snores. Oh no. You hear a fell voice on the wind, Requin. Ali, Eska, you hear it too. You just know there's bad luck in the air. Elisar actually like shivers. Oh, what is this dark portents in the stars? He looks up at the stars again and is trying to like figure out what's going on.
How could you, Dove? A betrayal. Requin would reply to Hensel. She'll just keep staring at Elisar, not saying anything just yet.
Yeah. Hensel sort of turns around again. What are you all doing here? This is crazy. What are you doing in our camp at night? Have you come to take us? You can't take us back to him. She holds on to Tobier, sort of backing away slightly. You can't. You work for him, don't you? I knew.
Eska.
I knew.
We're protecting the camp.
Wow.
We're not taking anyone away.
Bed is still sleeping, by the way. All this yelling, dead to the world. Has rolled a 3, a 4, and a 5 so far to wake up.
Wow.
Yeah, that mushroom gnome is like just dead to the world. I've kind of like accidentally moved her out of her sleeping bag, so let me just rearrange that. There we go.
Okay.
Now, Ali, you said to Hensel.
I said we're protecting the camp. We're not taking anyone away.
Please roll perception. Persuasion. Oh no.
I said,
The fell wind has fallen upon your roll. Do it with disadvantage.
okay.
The Dark Witch's
Let me bring
Curse.
up my... Okay, I have a plus 11 on persuasion, so that'd be horrible, right? My lowest roll was a 10, which makes it a 21.
21. Excellent.
Really?
Hensel. Hensel seems to calm down. They do seem to believe you. I'm sorry. She sort of looks around at the rest of you. It was just a shock. You can't imagine how hard this has been, and how relieved I am to know that we have others we can trust. Pat said we can trust you. She sort of moves over and hugs Ali.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Still getting used to Lee's hugs.
Yeah.
Ali will say something along the lines of like, I know what you're feeling more than you think.
Yes. Hensel looks into your eyes, and you can just see her like sad eyes. She says, I know. I can see it in you too. And this heartfelt moment is interrupted by Tobia, speaking probably like what the third sentence you've ever heard him speak when he wasn't controlled by the Dreamhunter. Tobia says, Mummy, can I have one? You turn around, he's like holding Jack's hand, shaking it. Jack is also like shaking Tobia's hand furiously in return, looking very happy. Although Jack always looks happy. He is a pumpkin.
Jack just follows me. Trust me, you don't really want one as a pet.
Hensel looks and says, Jack, come away from that thing. It's probably dirty.
Don't be mean to Jack.
Sorry. It's, I'm sure he came from a very clean grave.
He came from a tree, actually. Actually, I don't know where the skeleton came, but the pumpkin came from a tree.
The skeleton.
From a tree? My goodness.
Yeah, it's a long story.
You have been on some adventures, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hensel walks over to Jack and sort of kneels down next to him. Jack, dear, we'll try. When we find our new home, we'll try to find you a pumpkin just like Jack. Now come on, we should get some breakfast. The sun will be up soon. And Hensel and Jack nod to the party.
You've called Tobia Jack like
Oh, did I?
4
Excellent.
times now.
Hensel and Tobia nod. And yeah. They bid you farewell. And move off.
Ali's like gonna turn to Requin and just basically ask, do you have more questions?
Well, I believe we're done here for the moment. She will walk past Elisar and sort of whisper.
As you walk past?
Yeah. Wait, I need to rearrange these words.
Excellent. Elisar does like put out a hand to sort of stop you as you walk past anyway, so you have a second to think.
Wonderful.
And Elisar says, "Where are you going? I demand to know your name. You have besmirched my honor."
She's going to ignore him and simply say, you have the day ahead to go on and investigate further. Till we meet again.
What?
Let's
What are we?
hope there's no inky black tentacles of the void that surround you or us.
What?
For that matter.
What? Is that a threat? You all heard it. You're all in conspiring with her. I'll report you all. What's your names?
Nobody.
No, but and how do you spell that? He's immediately like looking around for pen and paper. Yeah. After about 5 or 6 seconds, he sort of turns around to Requin and says, "Oh, do you have any paper? I need to write down some names. I need to.
Sorry.
I can't remember. I know
She will
the stars will tell me."
ignore and just keep walking back to the group.
He just sort of raises his head and looks at the stars again. As Requin walks past.
Black Tentacles is a reference to what Esker has heard talking about. And I know that he is very suspicious about that.
Yes.
So she was just testing him to see, is there anything that truly raises some, like, familiarity with her speech, I suppose.
You could roll a perception, or you could use investigation. Esker, you do have your heartfelt on, so you could sense if there's any change in LSR's heartbeat.
Ooh.
And a 25. 25 is the highest.
Perfect.
Got a 3.
A 3.
23.
Oh, 23. That's way better.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could
insight.
roll low enough to get a 3.
Yeah.
With your insight, Requin, you cannot tell. There seemed to be a reaction, but it was really, it seemed to be when you started accusing him. So it's unclear as to why. Esker, his heart rate has been much more elevated, but it again has been that way since Requin started accusing him more directly, pushing his buttons. He's definitely sort of broken a little bit compared to his normal dreamy ways, which again he has returned to.
Yep.
This is great. We can use this later because we can just keep playing into him over time and manipulate him.
Says Requin to Esker.
I'm fine. Me as a player, I'm doing great, guys. Okay. Anyway, yes, let's go.
Requin, stop hurting Katie.
No, I genuinely do feel bad for him, but
Oh.
yes, I do. But I want to save it. I want to save my detect votes.
Yes, we still have 3 more people to talk to.
2 more.
3! We have 3 more.
Who's the other 3?
We're gonna talk to Halestra as well.
Oh, Halestra as well. Okay.
Yeah.
We want to talk to her.
Mm.
For very important reasons.
Yeah.
The sky seems to be brightening up. The sun is getting closer to sunrise. As you leave the sleeping Fett and the LSR staring into the void, who would you like to go visit next?
Wait, where did we have to meet Lelia?
Out in the woods at the makeshift. What's it called?
Yeah, but
Makeshift
when?
fort.
Did we have a time?
Just after
Yeah.
sunrise, yeah.
Okay, so if sunrise is soon, are we running out of time to talk to 3 people?
Ali quickly does the math in their head. If only we knew someone who had some sort of compass.
Yeah. How many hours till sunrise?
It is an hour and a half till sunrise.
We can talk in that time.
Okay. Let's see who we find next.
Requin pulls out a complex compass, turns to Ali and says, "We can talk in that time."
Okay. Shall we find next then?
I'd be keen to see what the centaur has to say.
Lee pulls out a list, crosses off the centaur, says, "All right, well, Good thing y'all brought a hunter then. And immediately starts walking off into the woods.
Follow Lee.
Follow Lee.
Yeah. With the hat she gave me.
With the hat. she
A
gave
hat,
you.
yeah. Thought I'm still wearing.
True. And the scene magically changes. Such magic.
Pet sleeping in a tree.
Fet is sleeping in a tree. Fet then mysteriously disappears. Okay, so Lee leads you down a path to a warm lake. It appears to have some sort of volcanism or something in the area. There is a jack and there is a skeletons. Down to a lake of some sort. Again, this is a freshwater source, and the ice seems to melt from some sort of geothermal properties. You knew this was here. This is where everyone's been getting their fresh water from. And it is here, on the shores of this lake, that you see Hollis. There is a herd of animals with them all around. They are drinking at the lake. They are ripping weeds that are growing in the shallows and eating them. They're chewing on the small shrub-like trees around the lake's edge. Hollis is just walking calmly amongst them. And Hollis rolls... They do not seem to have seen you. And they are just stroking a sheep very slowly. What would you like to do, team?
What's the plan here?
Says Ali quietly to the group. I don't know, I just find him, says Lee.
We need to find out why she's not with her herd. Everything I've read on Centaurs, they don't leave their herd. Ever.
Lee nods in agreement.
I guess I could just ask.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Hollis, how you doing?
The centaur turns around slowly and faces you. Ah, hello. Good morning. I'm doing perfectly well, thank you. Have you come for water? I can move the animals along.
Leave the animals. They need to drink.
As do we all.
Yeah. So, why are you here? Not here as in watering the animals, but here in the caravan.
The centaur Hollis sort of looks around as if this is a silly question. I tend the animals.
But you're a centaur. Why are you not in your glade?
Hollis appears to, like, their eyebrows sort of scrunch down a little bit in the middle. They say, "You know not what you ask, wizard."
I think I know exactly what I ask. Answer the question.
Hollis sighs. That is extremely offensive to ask a lone centaur. How dare you?
How dare I?
How
We
dare
asked
you?
for we
Yeah,
asked for
happy
wool and
accidents.
you've murdered a sheep. I think that's awfully strange.
Ooh. Dove, who are we re-rolling for?
Next person who fails a DC next is what
Ooh.
she said.
Ah,
Wow.
Thank you, Dove.
Thank you, Good Witch Dove. Good night.
Yay.
night dove.
So, Eska, what would you like to say to Hollis?
Even though we've had not much to do with you, and your efforts are appreciated, why would you kill a sheep when we ask for wool?
Is this not the way of the land? One dies so another may live? You of all people, with your necromancy, should know this. Life and death are intertwined.
That they are. But we asked for the wool off its back, not the meat off its bones.
But the chef needs the meat. We all must eat. Not I, of course. I eat nothing but leaves. But others must eat. I do not shy away from death. It is a natural part, and when I am ready to return to this earth, I shall become the trees and the grasses to feed the new. You know this. I sense the balance within you.
That is true. So why have you left your glade?
It is offensive to ask. I do not appreciate you asking this of me.
I will motion two of the skeletons to knock an arrow.
Excellent. Let me just replace those skeletons with skeletons who actually have bows and arrows.
Not drawn. They're just at the ready.
Two of the skeletons drop their swords and pick up arrows. You're not sure where they got them, but that's more realistic.
Yeah. We are in a time where offense does not matter. Only truth matters. Tell us, why are you not with your kind? And I am actively trying to intimidate here.
Hollis moves closer to you. Seemingly, can you intimidate?
With a natural 20, yes I can.
That's fun.
Excellent. Hollis seems to be intimidated, but they don't seem to react to intimidation the same way that other people do. Again, this centaur, the culture and tradition that they have seems to be very different. Instead of being scared and moving away, they sort of move closer and reach out their hand towards you with the palm facing up.
Eska will grab her hand.
She sort of moves her hand away and like lowers it a little bit more, and with her other hand she reaches out to take your other hand, sort of turning her head slightly as if saying, "May I?"
Very well.
She sort of takes your hand and places it gently on top of her own. I can see you mean well, but you do not know what you ask. Convince me of this need. I understand, and I submit to you, but it is like asking which is the first star I ever saw.
What star I first saw?
This is...
He turns to Ali. The first star I saw. It is a personal thing.
Well,
One-
if I tell you the constellation I remember, will you speak with us?
You would reveal such personal things to me? Says Hollis.
I would if it helps. If it gets us answers and protects this camp.
You are intriguing. Most just come to me for the animals I keep. Sort of bites her lip as though thinking, looking at the entire party. She looks back at Eska. Convince me, Necromancer.
Convince you? What
What
would
is
that
this
take?
dire need?
I'm not sure if we should disclose it, but I guess what's the harm? Most of you are under suspicion. You are secretive as many of the ones we've already spoken to. We need to know more information about you to rule you out.
And
If you are who you say you are, you will tell us.
I shall tell only the barest bones, for to tell you more would be to lay myself bare at your feet. Stripped of my fleece, stripped of my name. She turns away for a second, as if gathering her thoughts, and turns back towards Eska. I shall only tell you, Necromancer. Please. Come stand at the water's edge with me. Will you? She holds out her hand again.
I'll follow.
Will you take her hand?
Yeah.
Hollis moves over to the water's edge and holding onto her hand, Eska follows. We're supposed to put Eska probably over here. Hollis sort of kneels down a little bit so she's closer to the same height as you.
Yep.
And just whispers, "Thank you for respecting my privacy. This..." She sort of blushes slightly. "What I'm about to tell you is normally would only be discussed with close families or lovers. You can understand my trepidation. I know it is not your way, but it still feels akin to my asking for your love. I felt uncomfortable doing such in front of so large a group. You understand?"
I do.
I was banished from my glade. I may never go home. I refused an offer that I could not refuse. A man I could not be with. And I forsook my family and my love and my heritage. I am a lone star shooting through the heavens. Alone. This world is strange. These people and their customs seem alien to myself. I have met some others, but we do not even talk amongst ourselves.
Are the centaurs?
Yes, we are few, but there are some. I have met them on the road.
Interesting. Is there more to the story?
She kneels down and sort of gets very close to Eska, which I can do. You ask so bluntly.
I have no tether to this world. I do my work, and then I go back to the beyond. That is my being. I have nothing here. I'm sure you can understand that.
When I pass, I shall become part of the earth. You intrigue me, Necromancer, and I have revealed myself open to you. We are bonded now. It may be hard for you to understand what I have done for you here. To prove my innocence, I have taken my freedom, taken a small part of myself and revealed it to you. I do not know if I will ever get it back.
Eska would like to tug on his heartfelt.
Yes.
19, sorry.
19?
Yep.
Excellent. Her heart seems to be beating in a sort of irregular fashion. Could you roll a... just intuition? Or maybe a healing would also work?
Well, with a natural 20, I don't think it matters what skill it is.
True. You know centaurs have two hearts. One in their body and one in their chest. Hence the unusual beating that you're sensing.
Right. So, does each one seem like it's calm? Like, could I focus on one and then the other, or?
Yeah, they both seem to be really calm. Although the one in the human chest above seems to be sort of fluttering. With a nat 20, it really does seem like she's essentially just had sex with you. Like, that's the level of revelation. That's how serious it is for them to reveal such personal information. She seems extremely nervous. It's realistically the best way to describe it. She said she's laid herself like completely bare for you.
Yeah.
Which to her in her culture seems to be very, very personal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Something you would only do with your closest family or a lover.
I will take the mushroom that Fett gave to me, and I'll give it to her, and I'll thank her for the information, and say it will sadden me if I have to end you if you have lied to me.
Okay.
Wow.
She puts her hand very delicately on your cheek, Eska, and just says, "That would sadden me too." And yeah, she seems to consider leaning in for a kiss and then pulls away.
Which, of course, we're all watching this from far away.
We are.
What just happened?
I imagine Rexy's not even paying attention. It's just reading a book.
Yeah.
The book has a kissing scene in it though, so it's basically the same thing.
It's basically yeah. So yeah, I will give her that mushroom that Fett gave me, because I don't really have anything else to give.
Such a strange gift. Is this normal in your culture?
My culture is long dead.
She sort of reaches out her hand again and touches yours on your hand on hers. Says, "Then I hope you will join them soon, lost one."
I have much work to complete before then, and it will be on my own doing.
Very well.
Thank you.
I hope I have proved myself to you.
For now.
And Hollis just calmly goes back and stands amongst the animals as they finish drinking and they move off up the path into the night.
I'll walk back to the others.
Lee's face is just like big smile. It's like, so what was that like?
Interesting.
Can I be your best man?
I don't think that's how any of that works with me, unfortunately.
Lee chuckles.
I have no ties here.
All right. Well, what did she say?
To tell you would be a great injustice to her. But I say for now, we do not suspect her.
All right. Lee like bends down and like looks towards you, like really close into your eyes. It's just like, I think he's telling the truth. You wearing your goggles, Eska?
I'm always wearing my goggles.
Problem is I can't see his eyes through the damn goggles.
He will remove the goggles.
Lee pretends to be like really afraid. Oh my god! Y'all got real eyes under there?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Shall we get going?
We shall.
Alright. Crosses Hollis' name off the list again. So, y'all had me found. Damn centaur. That fox guy, who I had to arrest, by the way. And,
Good work
old
with
mate.
that, thank you.
Thank you. Lee tips her hat.
She doesn't have a hat.
Oh, yeah. Lee reaches over and tips the hat that Ali's wearing.
You couldn't take it back, you know.
Lee like gets down on like one knee and says, "Milady, may I borrow that hat?"
Ali gives her the hat back.
Lee stands up, tips the hat to Eska, and then like throws it across, and it like lands on Ali's head.
Okay.
So, ain't none of all of them. Where are we off to next?
Well, we've only got one suspect left.
Ain't Ali
You
been
wanted
saying there's
to-
two?
The two people we need to talk to. One suspect, one investigation? Question mark.
Well, I seem like I've been taking charge. Do you guys want to pick?
Well, I guess the suspect is the most important person to talk to. You wanted to talk to Nim?
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
do you think?
Well, that one ain't hard to find. She's back at that camp where she was last time, says Lee. And the party
Okay.
turns and moves as the scene changes. You stroll through the night, and the sun has just started to come up. Theoretically. The sun has just started to come up. As the party moves into the area, the caravans, the tents, all the skeletons and stuff as well. Whoop. Whoop. That's Jack. So you all arrive in the camp, and you do see Nim. They are sitting in front of their tent once again. Nearby, the bard Orthair is also sitting by the fire playing a song. It is just a nice and slow melody. And you also see Pat, who is sitting down and appears to be eating breakfast with Nim. As you approach, the sun on your face and sort of shining in from behind here, lighting up the whole camp, Orthair says, "Welcome, travelers. Come, sit, have breakfast with us. The day is young."
We've already had our fill.
Says Requin. Orthair just sort of bows in your direction. "Of course. Then perhaps we shall foray into the realms of music." He does a flurry of notes upon his lute. What would you like to do, team?
Do you trust me to talk to her again? Would like someone else get a different opinion?
Says Ali quietly.
Maybe we could ask her about the card, and we'll see what happens.
Don't have the card. I left it at the caravan.
Yeah, it's literally pinned to
Yes.
the suspicion conspiracy board.
I can
Yeah.
try and ask her, but I fear that she'll be reluctant to.
I think between me and Requin, we can get information out if you can't.
Right?
So Ali's going forward?
Yeah, he's gonna approach him and see what her reaction is. Like, as she approaches, keep. Yeah.
So, please make a perception. This is going to be funny.
15?
15. Nim's heart is on her sleeve. As she sees like the group approach, and she sees Ali in particular walking across towards her, she immediately like stands up and dusts the skirts of the crumbs from her bread from breakfast, and immediately begins to excuse herself from Pat.
Okay. I try to catch up to her.
Sure. What would you like to do? Are you calling out to her? Are you
just gonna ask really gently, say, please, I need your help.
She's completely ignoring you, although she does sort of look back in your direction as she begins to sort of scurry away, her little feet sort of taking her off.
As she
I'll
starts,
keep telling her.
as she starts walking, can you make a con 18 save for her, please?
Nim does not.
She's now floating in the air. I can't
Yep, that's it.
Ellie looks behind her and gives a slight dirty look to Eska.
I'll only have her like maybe a foot off the ground.
Yep.
Just so she can't escape.
Yes. Orthair's still playing, but Pat has like stood up. Said, "What the devil are you doing? Put that poor girl down."
This is none of your concern, Pat. Stay out of it.
I will have you know this is entirely my concern. What are you doing? She storms over to Eska.
I'll be trying to talk to them and to say, please, I promise after today I will not bother you again. I need some answers. And you're the only one that can give it to me. And I promise it will do good.
Please persuade.
Okay.
That was a good speech.
Oh, it's not too bad. I forgot what my modifier was. Give me a second. It is a 25.
Woo! Wow.
25.
Okay.
Wow. Nim just sort of shakes her head at you and says, "You mustn't ask. The darkness, the future, the cards. You mustn't ask. Please."
My whole life has been filled with darkness. I've learnt not to be afraid. Not all darkness is scary. There's some good in the darkness as well.
There is not. Nim begins crying. There's not. There's nothing but death all around me. I see it in all of you. The cards, they don't lie. Everyone here is doomed. This is why I do not stay with people.
Maybe we can help prevent those deaths. The more
How?
we know, the more we can learn.
How? She says.
Tell me what they mean. The cards. The card that you drew yesterday. What does it mean?
All right. Let me down and I'll show you.
I look back at Eska. Try and tell him to let it go.
Do you explicitly tell him to let it go?
I'm gonna give you a look. Just let her go, like, yeah.
She will touch the ground, but
Yep.
the spell will not end.
Yep. She's sort of standing on the ground. Can she move, Eska?
She cannot.
You can't move.
Yeah, I control her in her entire. Oh, actually, no. She can push off the ground.
Okay.
So she can push off objects. So she's touching the ground. So yes, she would be able to move, but I could levitate her as soon as.
Okay, so she moves back over and motions for Ali to sit near the front of her tent on the stump that Pat was just on.
I'll sit with her.
As Nim goes to sit down, can she sit down, Eska?
Yeah, she'd be able to sit down.
Okay, excellent. She sits down. She seems to not have noticed she's still under the effects of levitate. She says to Ali, "Are you sure?"
I told you once, I'll tell you again. I'm not afraid.
What has been told
Please?
cannot be untold.
I am a girl constantly searching for answers. I hate not knowing. Unknown scares me more than the known.
Then I shall read your cards. She pulls out the deck of cards.
Wait, the deck of cards I have?
Yeah, it's a different one.
Okay. So she had another pack of tarot cards?
One would assume so.
Okay.
She asks you to cut the deck. You watch as she
Okay.
shuffles it, and then you cut it when.
What now? Cut it.
Excellent. You cut a place in the deck. And she hesitantly moves forward and pulls out a card. "Your past," she says, and drops the Tower card. Reading from the book, she says, "The Tower. It's the collapse of beliefs, the material structures we hold dear. It's the non-resistance where we can find peace and wisdom. Your past, she says to Ali, holding out a hand and putting it on top of your own. Your past is destroyed. It has collapsed. This is only the first doom you suffer. Should I continue?
Yes. Please.
She puts your past card, the tower, to the side. Please, cut. Where would you like to cut, Ali?
Just a random spot.
She draws another card and presents the Two of Charisma. Ah, the Two of Charisma, of course. And she looks Ali directly in the eye. She says, "You're present. You're managing your time with grace and ease. You are clear on your priorities. I can see it. But you do not know what you should be focusing upon. You focus on the wrong things." And she puts the Two of Charisma to the side. We can't stop now. Cut. Please.
I cut the deck one last time.
She places the Three of Strength on the table. In your future, I see you expanding your circle of influence, communicating your ideas and making progress. But progress does not always mean good. Sometimes things are best left alone. Don't you see, elf? The doom is upon us all. You cannot escape it.
But, as you just showed me, you already had a past destroyed. I'm still here, aren't I?
For now, until this doom falls upon you, which it always will. I foresee your past erased. I foresee your present focused, yet on the wrong things. I see your future. I see your future making progress, stepping closer and closer to the final sleep. Roll perception, Ali.
Okay. Oh, that was low. 14.
Excellent. Could Eska and Requin also roll perception?
21.
21. And Requin?
16.
16. Excellent. Both of you notice a sort of small noise from Lee when Nim was saying that Ali's focusing on the wrong things in her present. Just a little involuntary noise.
No!
Oh no.
No! No!
So have we been able to hear this conversation?
Yes, Nim's talking loud enough for everyone to hear. Orthair's even stopped playing. Pat's just sort of standing next to you, Eska, just sort of stunned.
I will walk up to Nim.
Sure.
And
Orthair moves out of the way slightly for you to move past.
just like silently. And then Eska believes none of this, but he will ask anyway for her to do the same.
Very well. Do not blame me when I reveal your doom, Necromancer.
You know nothing of doom.
Ali will get out of the wherever she was sitting to let Eska sit down. And she'll just go stand next to Lee.
Lee reaches out. Could you roll an insight check?
Yeah.
You
I
may
don't think
do
my
so with,
insight's that good.
you may do so with advantage.
Ooh. Okay. I'm glad I had that with advantage. It is a 19 all up.
Yeah, excellent. You've been around Lee a lot, so you're fairly well versed on how she behaves and moves. She seems like a little hesitant when she sort of moves and puts her arm around you.
Aww.
But she still, after that sort of second's hesitation, she still holds you really tight.
Ellie leans into Lee and whispers, What are you thinking?
Have we been wasting time? What we have is so special, but what if we let the Dreamhunter walk around when we should have been? I think it's been worth it, but what if I'm wrong? I don't think I could have survived this long without you.
Don't let the Dreamhunter take away the joy. I have felt very, very little happiness in the life that I remembered. And not for 1 second do I think it's not worth it.
You're right, Lee says, just putting her forehead on Ali's. Meanwhile, over with Nim, Eska, when did you cut the deck? Could you please tell me?
About the middle.
About the middle? Nim looks you dead in the eyes. Your past, Eska. Reveals the Empress. Nim recites as though from some sort of book. In your past, I see you realizing your capacity to express the beauty of life and death and nurture others from that place of power. This is true, is it not? You suffered a great doom, and now you're doomed to do this work.
I am not doomed to do this work. I choose to do this work.
We shall see. What presence awaits you? Tell me. Cut the deck.
Nearer to the top.
Nearer to the top?
Yep.
For your present, Nim produces the Ace of Strength. The Ace of Strength. The source of all creative energy is within you, Eska. You have the power to imagine, begin, complete any project you set your mind to. Can you not sense it? The power all around that you could wield? Yet you hold yourself back. You cannot see what you could become. This is your doom, Eska. Do you not see it?
I see enough to know that taking power that I don't deserve would be worse and far more terrible for you than if I stay as I am.
We shall see, Eska. What does your future hold? And she again begins shuffling the deck, telling you to cut whenever you are ready.
I will grab the deck from her.
Cool.
And shuffle
She's gonna make a deck save, which she completely fails. You have the deck?
I have the deck. I will shuffle it
Sure.
and ask her to cut.
Ooh. She cuts and produces the 4 of charisma. She places it not with your cards, but off to the side.
Tell me about the card.
The 4 of charisma. Be careful. Do not fall into fear or greed. That is the future. That is the doom.
Yours or mine?
She smiles slightly. Mine.
What greed do you seek?
She packs up the cards calmly and sort of puts the deck to the side. Surely you realize, Eska. She looks at you, sort of hunger in her eyes. Surely you realize.
What am I to realize? Tell me.
Make an insight.
Yeah,
Also, Requin and Ali can make an insight.
18.
Okay.
that is a nat 20.
Woo!
So
Let's go
nat
with
20 from
10.
Requin.
18
let's-
for Oscar.
So nat 20 for Requin, 18 for Eska. Ali,
10.
10. Lee got a 22.
Out.
You all feel it.
all
You all feel it simultaneously. Ali, you realize after the fact that you have been sensing it the entire time, which is why you did not notice the difference. Nim is radiating some dark energy. It seems that something is sort of filling her up from somewhere out of sight. Something is moving silently in the shadows.
Oh, okay.
Nim looks directly towards Eska sitting across and says, I'm extremely greedy, Eska. I must have it.
What must
I tell Lee to go get Lalia.
I can't die. I mustn't die, Eska.
you mustn't die?
We're all doomed to die, but not me. Lee looks at you and just says, Ali, there ain't no way I'm leaving now. Not with that thing around.
Pat.
Lee's
I
like,
tell Jack to go get Lalia.
Jack
Yeah,
like
Jack!
does like a little like cartoon run. He's like, oh, and Jack like scuttles off.
Oh, needy. As she starts saying this,
Yeah.
she'll start floating into the air up to 20 feet.
She just doesn't.
She just doesn't.
What?
Yeah, legit. Yeah.
Seeing that,
Yeah, there is some sort of power that just, even though her physical body should be floating, it just negates it. It just bang negates it. Legendary resistances, y'all.
Did we tell the others to guide Pat?
Yeah. Pat can sense it too now, and Pat like
And
backs
she
away and then
bolts.
bolts.
Orthair, we'll need your assistance.
Orthair seems to be just like looking. She's like, what's happening? What is this feeling? Looks to
This.
Requin for answers. My dear, you must explain. What's happened to Nim?
No, they've been as they've always been.
Hmm.
A black whip will form in Eska's hand, and he's readying a spell.
Excellent. Nim just sort of looks, like, cocks her head a little bit to the side. It's just like, now, Eska, we won't be needing that now, will we?
I'm glad it was you.
I am gonna ask Nim if
Yes.
she killed her father.
Nim looks to Ali, turns around and just says, all of us are doomed to die, aren't we?
That didn't answer my question.
Nim's smile just sort of distorts slightly.
Okay.
Requin will walk up to Eska and say, not whispering, but just quietly, do we rather see where this goes, or rewind a bit?
Hang on.
Eska
I'd like
thinks
to see-
quickly.
I'd like to see this out.
Alright. And then she'll turn to Nim and I suppose also ready.
I just need to do a thing quickly.
What thing?
Yeah, where?
It's a hat.
Yeah, I know. I need to. I just need to borrow your hat for a second. Says
Okay.
Lee. And Lee just borrows the hat from Ali. Okay.
Ooh, my heart rate is at 90. It's fun.
98.
I don't want to say my heart rate, but it's not okay at the moment. But I have low blood pressure.
Perfect. So just let
Why
me.
is there a Dreamhunter with Lee?
Yeah, I know. Just give me a second. Actually, look, listen. Was not supposed to be a Dream Hunter appearance in this episode, but legit behind the scenes had been rolling percentage to see which of your suspects plus the other people might be the Dream Hunter. Legit, just straight rolled 100 for Nim. Like, I stopped for a second. I was like, universe, are you actually shitting me? Like, you're just like, oh no, 100% she is. Yeah, she's the Dream Hunter.
I think the world just hates Ali at this point.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Good thing Eska hated her from the start.
Wow. Cannot believe the reveal. Dove's gonna kill me.
Oh!
Because they went to bed.
Yeah, no, Dove's gonna kill you.
Listen, future Dove, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, future Dove, when you find this out. Nim appears to have a dark shadow around her. A sort of inky blackness. And you see them as a creature with two halves. Two things living in the same physical space. Nim is like an anchor for the Dream Hunter to the physical world. Yeah.
Right.
Brutal.
So fun. Brutal. It's not like I arrange spells for this. It's fine.
Nim just stands there looking prim, proper, tiny, yet radiating power. Almost like a puppet that the Dream Hunter is in. What are we to do? She says. What are we to do? I suppose I could steal your lives. It would extend mine.
Then you wouldn't get answers.
Answers don't interest me, says the
You
Dream
sure?
Hunter. I don't care for answers. I care not to die. I do not wish to sleep. I do not want to go to that eternal dream. How can any of you say you would? How?
How?
We don't get a choice.
Lee sort of like moved in front of Ali slightly, aiming the gun at Nim. You do have a choice, says Nim. You all have a choice. You can take the life that you're owed. They would do it to you. Any of them. Any here would kill you to take your life. Without mercy.
No, they would not.
They would.
I'm glad it was you.
They would. They would listen to you. They would take your heart. They would kill you. My own family would kill me.
Like
But
you
I
killed
showed
them.
I showed them all. They saw me as a doom. They saw a way to their freedom by taking my life. But I took theirs. And now I will live to outsee all time. I'm unstoppable. I'm all powerful. You have no hope of stopping me. No hope, and you will all die on this mountain. You step closer and closer into my trap. I will have you all. I think I would like a taste right now. She sort of looms over Eska slightly. You smell of death already.
Can I use my reaction to cast the spell I readied?
You can.
Cool. I will do that, and I will cast Innovation. Please make a Dex 18 save.
That was a nat 20. Nim just dissipates. Just dissipates. And reappears, like, slightly nearby. Where's Nim gone?
Oh, God, that's a neat trick. I wish I could do that.
Can you not? Like, some stuff like that?
I don't know,
Yep.
Ellie doesn't know. I could try. I could roll a d8 and see what happens.
True. Yeah, Nim just dissipates and reappears, as though the whole world shifted around them. Now, Eska, don't go ripping at reality so fast.
Is Sylvia Barb's not?
Silvery Barbs, what
Yeah.
save do I need to make?
18. You just
Seven.
need to re-roll it.
I have re-rolled,
Yep.
and you can feel that darkness just pulling Nim away from danger. Again,
Alright.
the legendary
That's-
resistance is kicked in.
Yep.
Stop that, she says.
So she still takes damage. So it'll be 12 damage.
12 damage.
and
Excellent. What
necrotic.
type of damage is it?
Necrotic.
Necrotic. Excellent.
As the whip like cracks in the air.
Perfect.
And then the spell ends.
The wounds on her body seem to bleed like small, jointed, tentacle-like things out of the holes in her flesh. Are we really going to do this, Eska? Can't you just submit nicely to me? It looks down upon you.
Ellie's gonna try and connect to the Dreamhunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please make a wisdom save.
Okay. Oh, that did not roll very well. 17.
17. Excellent. You do. Please roll percentage for me.
Okay. 92.
92?
Big!
My god. Yeah, not always great though.
I don't
Suddenly,
Okay.
Ali and the Dream Hunter and Nim just appear. They are like physically connected, like inside each other's body.
Okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
What?
Nim's voice and the Dream Hunter's voice speak as one. We told you not to mess with reality. We told you.
Got it.
We told you. Submit to us. And Ali is like immediately being enveloped in black tentacles coming from the darkness surrounding Nim. And Nim's smile is growing way wider than it should. And her lips incredibly red as she sort of looms forward, opening them, revealing sharp teeth as though ready to bite you. As all this happens, Lee says, "Oh, you'll better underhand her right now." And we roll for initiative. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Well, Lee rolled a nat 20, so Lee's going. The Dream Hunter rolled a 1. I just rolled a nat 20 and then a 1 on the
My
same
goodness.
dice.
21 for Eska.
Oh, I rolled really low. A 9. I rolled a 9.
Nice.
I rolled the 30.
30? Okay, so then it's Lee,
Yeah, 19
Requin,
plus
Eska,
11.
Ali, and then Dream Hunters between Ali and Lee. That actually worked out perfectly. What did you roll, Requin?
19 plus 11.
Wow. Cool.
I'm a bard. I have the alert.
Yeah, you sure are. Lee immediately just fires her rifle, not storing a spell in it. It's just gonna fire. There's no time. It's wow. That's another nat 1 on the same
No!
dice. So that dice has now rolled a 20 and then 2 1s in a row.
Wow.
Do we put it in dice jail?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, always.
Dice jail. Bad dice.
Is it the
Let's-
same dice again?
It's the same dice again. Okay, let's do what we did last time, and let's just try to get this dice. Don't touch it. Just get it in there. Okay. It has been dice jailed. Don't worry, there is air holes, so it can still breathe, so that's fine.
Okay.
New dice.
New dice.
Lee's gun just misfires. The gun that Death gave her, the Dream Hunter has some power over it, and it just stops working. What the hell? Says Lee. Requin, as Lee's gun misfires, what are you doing? The Dream Hunter is looming over Ali.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here. This is interesting. Well, first of all, they'll summon Viola, obviously. If it was
Summon the Viola, yes.
And she'll hold out her hand to Nim, aka the Dream Hunter.
Yes.
Her eyes gleaming with a determination and utter despise. She views the Dream Hunter not as this all-powerful being, rather she sees it as this poor soul who's unmistakably stumbled into this power and is going to first up past Phantasmal Killer.
Ooh. So
Please make a whiz save.
excellent. Suddenly the air shimmers. I have made a save of 20.
That doesn't work.
Dark Dream is all around the Dream Hunter and Nim and Ali, although the Dream Hunter seems to be focused completely on the poor elf, as it is wrapping its tentacles around Ali and its red lips growing wider and wider, showing more and more sharp teeth.
As a bonus action, she will look at Eska and telepathically say, "Clay, do it."
Do it. Do it.
Up to what you want to do. She just wants you to do something, and we'll give you bardic inspiration. Woohoo!
Yippee!
So my cat seems to want to join this fight. So let me just.
Yeah.
There's like so many things I could do.
Yeah, it's hard to choose.
Eska thinks for a second. What can they do?
It can do a lot. But actually, he wants to check. Given we've encountered this creature a number of times, he wants to see if he can discern what kind of being it is.
Sure.
Investigation?
Yep.
25.
25.
Yep.
It is not clear to you what this is. You've not seen anything like it ever.
Eska seeing Ali getting sort of enveloped, sort of doesn't think at all, and just cast a spell. Please make a Charisma 18 save.
Charisma 18.
Yes.
That will pass.
Damn. The spell fails.
This thing is tough.
It is tough. He was trying to cast Banishment.
Oh, nice. I don't know if that would have worked.
He's got to try.
Sure does.
He will then summon forth from his lantern Ostar's light.
Yeah.
With a 19, will that hit?
That will hit. Ostar's bright radiant light flashes against the Dreamhunter.
11 radiant damage.
11 radiant damage is dealt. Bang. The Dreamhunter, blasted by the holy light, seems taken aback for a second. But it simply continues, trying to strangle the elf out of existence and steal their life. Any other actions from Eska?
No. He would have liked to do more things, but he doesn't have enough. Oh! Sorry! Skeletons.
Go Skeletons, go!
Skellington! There we go.
Skeletons!
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I only have 4 d20s on me. Alright, I'll roll one more. They will be told to attack. Those two will miss. That one will also miss. Does a... Well, dirty 20 obviously hits.
Dirty 20 will
If
hit.
a 19, yeah, and then a 22 will hit. Yes?
Yes, indeed.
Lovely.
So
that will
the
be the archers.
Skeletons both hit with their arrows. 2 arrows flying across the battlefields.
For 12 piercing damage.
12 piercing damage is dealt. It doesn't seem to be phasing the Dreamhunter much at all.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Ali?
Is Orthair in the thing?
Orthair?
In the
No,
rotation?
he's stunned, mate. He's just...
Oh.
Yeah, he's got no idea what's going on. Ali, you are trapped in the dark tentacles. And
Yes, I am.
Min's face is getting closer and closer to you. What would you like to do?
I don't know what I want to do. I'm panicking.
Says Ali, panicking.
Yeah. Can I force the vision I saw of the Dreamhunter's past into the
Yes.
Dreamhunter's mind?
Ooh, yes you can. Please make opposing wisdom saves.
Okay.
As Ali
Please
mentally
reply.
struggles against the Dream Hunter.
19?
19. That you are basically locked with the Dream Hunter. It seems to be trying to keep you out of its mind while trying to force darkness and dark thoughts upon you, but it has seemed to hold it off. The Dream Hunter rips itself from Ali, throwing the elf to the ground. Make an acrobatics or athletics check.
I'll make an acrobatics. That was 24.
24, excellent. Ali rolls, recovers, and lands over near Orthair. Nim suddenly shakes and shudders. She's sort of vibrating and moving like, just really like fast. All around. She seems to be absorbing dark energy from somewhere. Building up to something. It builds and builds. You can feel the tension literally ripping through the place. And then she changes. More of the Dream Hunter's energy rippling into her. It looks less like a person and more like a dark eldritch entity. Twisted, contorted, out of shape. This thing lumbers towards you. Multiple arms, tentacles, seeping out, dripping onto the ground. The very world around it just changing as it moves. Stones shifting positions. Tents collapsing or reforming. The fire both being out and lit at the same time. The Dream Hunter seems to be breathing deeply as though the transformation took energy to do. It stands like a tired animal for a moment.
Could I use a reaction?
Sure. You have a reaction, you may use it.
Seeing the Dream Hunter start to shift and become this horrible thing, Requin will wave her hand in a sort of 8 figure and will cause red spider lilies to grow around the Dream Hunter.
Ooh, nice.
Could you please make a whiz save?
Spider lilies
not gonna
grow
work,
all around the Dream
but
Hunter. That, come on,
I can
really?
Oh,
I can-
come on!
Why does
Oh,
this
he's
happen?
killing me!
Requin, please roll a percentage.
Of course. Yep. What do I get? That's a 77.
77. Excellent. The flowers all sort of shift and change into hundreds of different varieties of flowers, none of which you recognize. They've just been completely neutralized by the reality-altering powers of the Dream Hunter. Any other action from Requin?
Nah, that was reaction.
Perfect. Meanwhile, the skeletons have, of course, moved around, I'm assuming, the battlefield, firing their arrows and hacking at the Dream Hunter.
Yeah.
Lee's gonna fire again. Pew pew. 19, that's way better. Bang. Lee's rifle fires, shooting silver bullets from the end of its magical barrel into the Dreamhunter, punching holes. But again, the Dreamhunter doesn't seem to move. It's just sitting there panting. Requin,
This is not good.
your action,
This is not wonderful.
says Requin.
You see, being a bard, I have a lot of saving throws, and hardly anything else. So this is going to be a bit of a trial and error. All
What
right.
is Requin gonna do?
There's so many choices. It's hard. Alright, we're gonna try again with Phantasmal Killer. Seeing
Ooh.
these flowers, seeing these flowers and just nullifying effect from her power, she will steady herself and make sure her thoughts are just focused on getting this Dreamhunter controlled as somewhat, despite all the failures, honestly. Yeah, I suppose green mist will sort of envelop her and flow to the Dreamhunter.
Excellent.
Please make another whiz save and don't roll in at 20 this time,
Oh,
please.
that's a 2.
Yes! Yes!
Yay!
The Dreamhunter
Okay.
snaps from its drowsy breathing and just looks directly at Requin. It seems to look
Okay.
around and sort of back away slightly, like a scared animal.
Yeah. It's basically seeing the nightmares and its deepest fears.
Yeah.
And please roll high.
You-
No, that's not what I wanted.
You hear 2 voices at once, Requin, as the Dreamhunter sort of backs away. One of them says, please, don't kill me. And the other one just says, alone, so alone. Alone in the dark, forever, dead.
Doesn't make me feel any positively about that. But it's fine.
Perfect. So it has failed to save,
It's not a
Requin.
great roll. Yeah, okay, that'll only be 21 psychic damage.
21 psychic damage. Bang! It hits it, but it hits it hard. That psychic damage seems to rip into the Dreamhunter's reality. It seems to tear it apart. It sort of collaborates itself back together, but whatever you did, it hurt.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she will hold concentration on that.
Nice.
Focusing on the Dreamhunter with an intensity to rival that of a flame. And as a bonus action, we'll give Ali Bardic inspiration by also communicating in her mind. This time more so saying, do what you see fit. You've learnt enough, haven't you? Referencing to their little conversation that night.
Nice. Excellent. At
So, yeah.
this point,
Bardic inspiration. Woo!
yeah, at this point, you hear some voices shouting, coming from back towards the camp. To God, what is that?
Hey, Lalia.
It's Laelia and Georgie.
And Jack?
Oh yeah, and Jack. Hold on,
And Jack.
Jack's a real boy, not a digital boy. So let me just make Georgie and Laelia the right sizes, and then Jack's like very proud of himself, running back over to Ali.
Hey, good job, Jack.
Good job, Jack. Orthair seems to have taken his leave at some time during the battle. He's just gone. Disappeared. Laelia just calls out, "What's going on here? Who's that? My God, is that Nim? That little girl?" Say that again, Eska.
We found your problem, Lalia.
Yeah, so it would seem. That makes today much easier.
That it does. Little help?
Of course. She begins sparking up spells at the end of her wand. Georgie pulls out a dagger and sort of looks at it, wondering what to do with it against that thing.
You feel like that?
Eska, you find yourself in combat order. What are you doing against the Dreamhunter?
Alrighty, so I will turn back and look at Ali, and she will feel a warm presence behind her. A halo
it's
will.
Jack. That's so nice.
No, it's not Jack.
Oh, sorry.
It's not Jack. A bright, glowing halo will appear above her head. Yes. Nietzsche knows what I'm doing.
I do.
will.
Okay.
What? You now, for the next minute, have guidance and resistance to. Oh, what has this guy done in the past? Done a lot of bludgeoning. He's done like necrotic damage.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. He's done necrotic.
He
You will
has.
have resistance. Yes. So you will have resistance to necrotic, and you will have guidance, which is an extra D4 in all your rolls.
Hey, okay, cool.
And there will
Ali
be
has a halo.
Yeah, there'll be a halo, and then just a little spirit will hover behind you.
Yeah. You can hear the spirit, Ali. No one else can see it. You can't see it. Eska can. But the spirit whispers in your ear, just speaking in tongues, but you understand they are words of guidance.
Okay.
And then he'll turn back to the Dreamhunter. He will summon the lantern to call forth Oster's soul once more.
Brother Oster.
Will a 28 hit, sir?
Did I make a Brother Oster? I did, didn't I?
You did. Surely
Maybe.
you did.
Maybe. Oh no, I was using this mini. Brother
You
Oster
were.
just appears. Get attacked, Dreamhunter. Bright white light.
Yeah. Does a 28 hit?
28 will hit. Bang.
14 radiant damage.
14 radiant damage.
And Eska would like to move towards the archer skeleton on the directly behind him. Yeah. He just
Perfect.
doesn't want to be up close and personal.
True.
The 3 skeletons in the front will swing.
Yep. Attacking with their swords and claws.
Yeah. Does a 17 hit?
17 will not hit.
Okay, then they all miss.
It just passes directly through the smoky dark body of the Dreamhunter.
And then the archers. There's an 18 hit.
18 will not hit.
There's a
In
19
its new
hit.
form. 19 does. In its new
19
form,
does
it
hit.
seems to be made of smoke. 19 does hit.
Right. Okay. 9 piercing damage.
Another arrow pierces the Dream Hunter's side. The other one just passes right through, doing nothing.
Cool, so the AC's 19.
Ali,
Yay!
Yeah.
you find yourself in the midst of crazy, chaotic combat.
Yep.
There are skeletons slashing at the Dream Hunter. The Dream Hunter seems to be having an existential crisis, fighting with its own mind, as Requin is forcing it further and further back, regressing, just like you were trying to do before, although in a different way.
Do I still feel a connection with the
Yeah.
Dream Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ali, thinking about what Reckon just said and everything that's happened in the 24 hours, and that she was always ready to throw herself the blame because of this thing. She's gonna recall her very first memory and the immense pain she felt from whatever took her memories,
Wow.
whatever beat her up, and she's gonna take that memory and force it on the Dream Hunter.
Oh, brutal.
Whoa!
What a play.
So cool.
You have guidance as well. The Dream Hunter
Yeah.
rolls an opposed check against you. It was not super high.
Okay. It was fine. 14?
14.
Plus you got... Did you
Plus
roll a
the
d4
guidance?
as well?
Yeah, I rolled a 1 on the D4.
Oh no. Ali, the Dream Hunter seems to be stuck in the dream that Requin has given it. You are
Oh.
unable to force your memory upon it.
Wait, wouldn't it have disadvantage?
Would it?
Yeah, because the Phantasmal Killer gives it disadvantage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is slightly higher,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I'm so sad now.
Unfortunately. But your dream just simply adds to the dark dreams that Requin has given it. Piling on and on. The Dream Hunter seems to be going insane, literally tearing itself apart and reforming itself again and again.
Oh.
What other action will you take, Ali?
I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be a time as any to use those...
Those shadows? Do you want me to try and use a shadow?
Oh, you can try and use the shadow.
I
was
can
gonna
try
say
it.
those blood arrows, you got all those...
Yeah. I could, do I still have an action though?
Yeah, that was just your sort of
Okay.
bonus action.
Okay, let me look at what these arrows do that I've had forever.
Stab yourself with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at full health, so I could do that. I could use one of them and use the arrow in full of the leaves, okay?
Ooh, that's cool.
Just stab myself with an arrow and roll a d12. Really? I rolled a 2?
Oh,
The arrow does
That's
2
okay.
damage to you.
Oh, yep. I mean, okay. And I'm gonna roll to hit with full of lilies. 25?
25 will definitely hit.
Yeah, is someone standing next to it?
Yeah, 3 skeletons.
Cool. I can add my sneak attack. 3, 4, 5, okay. Okay. 10, 20, 26 plus the 2 is 28 plus 7 is 35.
35. Boom.
Yeah.
Big damage dealt to the Dream Hunter. The body of Nim is punctured by the arrow. And you see her eyes grow wide for a second. And she looks down at her chest with the arrow protruding out of it. An unclear fear in her eyes. And you see dark tentacles just sort of roiling out of the wound more and more. All the damage that her body has taken is being overtaken by dark tentacles. And she seems to have this sort of sudden realization. No, you said our deal. And then she's just enveloped, and her head sort of falls to the side. The Dreamhunter has completely taken Nim. And she disappears.
God, what happened in this girl's life? Oh my god.
Please all roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
Wow, that's high.
Oh no. Oh, it's okay. I got 20.
20's not high enough. 21's not high enough.
What?
It's alright, it's a good thing it's not high enough.
Okay.
10? Okay, Esker, that's fine. All of you see Nim's life flash before your eyes. You see them as a small, happy child in a little druidic village. You see them playing with the other kids and loving parents. You see them as they grow older and as they tell their friends, don't climb that, don't go there. They start predicting things that will happen, bad things. You see her friends, the others in the community, begin to tease her, to exclude her, as she fades further and further into herself. Even her parents eventually just can't bear to be around her, or maybe that's just how she saw it. And then you see as she gets older and she's outside of a small building listening to plans inside, or maybe it's just she's hearing it in her head. Is it real? Is it not? She can hear that they're planning to send her away. No, they're planning to sacrifice her. It's the only way to break the spell of bad luck. They're gonna kill her. Her own family. You see her stumbling in the rain as she runs through the sacred church to the sacred tree of her people. You can hear the voices again echoing all the terrible things that they're going to do to her. But you hear something reaching out. She could live forever. She could. She doesn't have to die. If only she'll reach out to the voice. You see her reach out to the tree. The tree whose roots go right to the depths of the world and into other worlds, into the dream. And you see, as though at the bottom of an endless black pit, a lonely soul who will not accept their fate, wandering around in the depths, and it reaches its hand miles, infinite distance, up and out of the dream. It takes only a few seconds and an infinite lifetime to happen, but it connects with Nim. It shows her that she does not have to die. She can move in and out of the world of the endless sleep, the infinite dream, freely. It can show her how, if only she will feed it. If only she will give it power. And what power? What power sustains life? Life itself. And then Nim stands in the sacred place of her people, buildings burning, the bodies of her family and friends all around her. She's breathing heavily, but a small smile appears on her face. And then it's gone. The memory just whisks away like sand in the wind. Nim is gone. The Dreamhunter, after a second, dissipates like sand as well. But you can feel it. It's all around you. It's somewhere there. And all humanity has left it now. It is just a hungry animal, stalking around the edge of a campfire, waiting for an opportunity. Lelia steps forward, stands in the middle of everything here. Was that it? Is it gone?
Fortunately, no.
What do you mean,
Nim's,
no?
well, Nim's gone, but it's not.
Yes, I saw, but what do you mean? It's still here? Immediately powers up a ball of flame in her hand, looking around for some danger.
Not here immediately. It'll show itself.
So you're saying the danger still remains? At least we can put a face to it.
I'm still unsure whether you can still see it apart from us.
If
you
saw
go back
it.
to your wagon, I'm not sure if you can see it again.
We need to meet with all of the others. We need to decide what we will do. If this thing is hunting us, she sort of looks around. I can almost feel it. Feel its eyes upon me from the tree line. Like a wolf. Like a lion. Some sort of beast waiting. We can't stay here. We must get out of these mountains as soon as possible. All of you, meet me where we discussed. We shall have no trial, but we shall decide what we shall do. This affects all of us now. She nods to each of you, and her and Georgie disappear as they walk off towards the forest clearing that you decided on. The party looks at each other, all shocked by the information they've just heard, or just felt.
Ellie falls to her knees, a very strong look of shock and sorrow on her face.
Yeah, Lee falls to her knees beside Ali as well and just holds on to her. Lee's crying. Requin? Eska?
Eska will say nothing get his skeletons to fall in behind him and walk off.
I'm gonna follow. Not in the line though.
Not with the
She's not
skeletons.
a duck. She's not a.
Requin is
She's
not
not following him. She's
not an
on her
escadux.
own accord.
Not an escadux.
Yeah.
Jack also gives you a hug, Ellie.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
Jack's learning what it means to have a body and to be part of a team.
That's so sweet. Ellie is freaking down right now. Ellie will whisper to Lee, and her voice is cracking, but Ellie thinks she just killed Nim and breaking her. She killed Nim. She freed the Dreamhunter of its humanity.
Lee holds on to Ellie, says, "Darling, that thing was just a puppet. Any of the humanity went out of that thing when it did what it did to its family. You saw it too, right?"
Yes.
That thing, it's not even Nim. That thing was just playing at being human. But it ain't no human. Ain't no human can do that to their own kin. Nah.
But
All you did was destroy the puppet. Now the animal's free. It ain't got no place to go. We're gonna decide what to do about it.
Ellie is conflicted and angry and sad and confused.
Lee knows.
Yeah, I can't form words.
Lee's just gonna hold on to Ali and help move with the Esker and the Requin. Everyone moves in silence. No one discusses it. We're so good at communicating.
So yes,
Yes!
we're,
That's what they call us, the bad communicators, yeah.
Yeah. Now where did I put
Yeah.
that?
I suppose it would be tense. Requin is not crying at all. She understands that Nim died the moment that she took the deal, but is contemplating over what that deal entailed and whether she would be in the same boat if she was in Nim's place.
True. Lee's
Definitely
just disgusted
anything
by
to do with it.
Yeah, Lee's just disgusted by the actions that the Dreamhunter Nim took to become the Dreamhunter.
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
So, as you approach the area that Lelia had set out, you see Tobia, Pat, and Hensel all sitting next to each other on one of the logs near the front. Pat seems to be consoling them and whispering about what she'd seen. Orthair sits off by himself to the side. Mino is sitting in the middle, hands on his lap, just paying attention. Hala sits behind him. Grolp and all of his little goblins sit in the back row here. Fet is not still asleep. Fet is sitting over to the side with Halestra. The drow, who is holding on to Fet, who is crying. Elisar appears to be staring off into space again, looking off into the trees. Lelia and Georgie, of course, stand near the front. Worrell is here, but he is in shackles and looking very upset with himself, off to the side. And Hollis is standing around off to the edge with their flock nearby. As you approach, what would you like to do, team? Where would you like to sit? Lelia sees you and she motions for you to take a seat somewhere.
Esker will go stand with the centaur.
Esker goes and stands near the centaur. She blushes slightly. It seems she's still not over the very personal moment that you had. But she nods and welcomes you to stand near her.
Is that like a tree there?
Yeah, there's a tree. You guys are sort of under a tree.
You'll probably just lean on the tree.
Excellent. Hollis is just sort of like watching you nearby. Requin?
She'll go sit on the log behind Grop and on the edge. Yeah, so she can see everything.
Yep.
We'll just sit very elegantly and wait.
There's one other like person sitting on this seat. It's a small goblin right at the other side. It's sort of kicking its legs as its legs aren't long enough to touch the ground, and it looks at you and smiles. Seems to have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
but it's
she
like
pays
having a
that
day off
goblin.
work, yeah. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I see.
Any excuse not to work.
She's concerned that goblin doesn't exist right now.
It's concerned the goblin doesn't exist.
Yeah. She doesn't care.
Oh, I get it now. As far as you're concerned, I thought you said you are concerned, and I was like, well, okay, what's going on with Requin? Requin's not sure what reality is anymore. Of course.
That's finally lost. Oh.
Lee motions for Ali to take a seat. If you're like on the log, over to the side, just away from the rest of the group.
Yeah. Ali will sit down beside Lee and hold her hand.
Yeah.
Hold
Lee
it
and Ali are sitting at
tight.
the back.
Yeah.
Lee and Ali are just at the back there. Esker always plays tricks on Elisar, by the way. So, Lelia stands at the front. There are others around, of course, in the group, but these are the people that you have known and met, and, you know, they are people who you know things about. They're the ones that you notice in the crowd. The wagon train, you notice, like, there's maybe 100 people now. What started as hundreds is now down to a mere few. You know, people have died and a whole lot of people have left along the way, feeling like the caravan was doomed. You can see in Lelia's eyes that this is breaking her. This is her family's legacy and Georgie's family's legacy, which you know about.
Could I make an insight check on Lalia to see if she's using that spell?
Sure.
A natural 20.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does seem that
20
she... Yeah, a lot of 20s tonight. It does seem that she has readied that spell back up. She is sacrificing her charisma to increase her intelligence again.
Yeah.
She stands up and hits her wand on the log, although it makes a very loud knocking sound, which echoes around the area. She seems to be using magic to increase the volume. All right, we're all here, she says. There are a few important things we need to discuss. Firstly, we have caught the thief who has been pilfering from your wagons. The items may be returned once we reach civilization. And of course, this filthy cur will be brought to justice. Worrell sort of like drops down a little bit at the mention of this and won't look anyone in the eye. But more pressing, I'm sorry to inform you that one of our own has been discovered to have been hunting the entire time, stealing life from this very caravan. It was Nim the Seer. I can state this truly with my own eyes, having seen it. And of course, the heroes that you have all known, who many times have saved this wagon. And points to Eska. Hollis gives you a sort of deep nod, Eska, of acknowledgement. Points to Requin at the back. A few people turn around and sort of look. The goblin that's sitting next to Requin has got like its hands up to its mouth, like like it's like super surprised it's like next to someone so famous. Motions to Ali and Lee at the back. Lee notices and sort of like nods her head. She also takes off her hat and gives it back to Ali so the elf can hide.
Yeah, Ali hides under the hat.
Yeah. Hide under the hat. Pull it down a little bit. You can hide. That'll work.
Yeah.
Kind of. Lee gives her hat to Ali so Ali can hide under it. Unfortunately,
Ali pulls it down. Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they have discovered this identity. You must trust me when I say we are in grave danger. I can sense this beast, and I know you can all too. And as you look around, you indeed can see that everyone seems to be uneasy, sort of looking to their left and their right, as though expecting something to leap out of the bushes at any moment. Lelia takes a deep breath. As far as I see it, we have two choices. Georgie nudges her in the ribs. Alright, three choices. We have three choices. We can either make a break for civilization, dump everything that is not necessary, and we ride hard and fast. The few and fastest wagons with the strongest steeds. And we break for civilization, hoping this thing will not chase us once we leave the mountains. Number two, we bunker down here and protect ourselves, and we send a brave few to go and gather help from the Northlands. They bring that help back, and we safely make our way down. Or number three, we seek this thing out, and we fight it. You must cast your votes. What say you? And she points to the entire group. When she asks, who would prefer to fight this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Fet puts up their hand. Halestra puts up their hand. Grolt puts up his hand. Pat puts up her hand. Worrell puts up his hand. Hollis puts up their hand. So what's that? 5? So 5 people have voted to fight the thing.
Esker would move forward sort of into that middle space, and ask the crowd to help Mino find what supplies they have to finish the work that Esker's asked him to do. An extra body of that power would be absolutely instrumental. And he'll also put up his hand.
So that's 6. What about Ali or Lee or Requin?
Will not straight in the air, but will motion that she does wish to fight.
Excellent.
Ellie will also put up a head.
Sorry?
Ellie will put up a head.
Lee's holding her gun up in the air. Wow. That's freaking hilarious because I just rolled 100% again. As you all put up your hands, slowly more and more people around begin to raise theirs until everybody, every single person looking at you heroes, believing in you, seeing what you can do and the bravery that you've shown, hands go up more and more and more. Lelia looks at it and sort of shakes her head. We're all doomed, aren't we? You're sure about this? And several people in the crowd sort of cheer. Yeah, woo, yeah, we'll do it. We can beat this thing, they say. Very well.
They'll do work.
What was that, Requin?
Sorry, that was me just using to myself.
Very well.
Ignore me.
Then we spend this day fortifying our camp. This thing will come for us eventually. I say we lay a trap for it. I say we're ready when it does. And everybody gets up. Some to help find the things that Mino needs. Some back to their caravans to prepare to find what weapons and armor they have. But it is time for the final combat against the Dreamhunter.
I'll turn to Lalia and say all caravans need to be brought around ours.
Agreed, she says. We shall find a place and move them all together. We shall set up barricades and fortify the place.
I can help Mino brandish weapons, for those that don't have any.
Of course, see it made so. And
Make
she
sure we
begins
have plenty
walking
of
off.
steel and leather.
She begins walking off and directing people. We fight! And a great cheer goes up. Team, as this day's sun rises, you feel hope, but also trepidation. A little voice in your head Is it even possible to kill this thing? Can you do it? How will you do it? Anything else you'd like to do before we finish up?
When everyone starts moving around, Ellie lifts the hat back up and looks at Lee. And
Lee looks down at Ali.
she'll recovered a bit now. She's past the shock. And she just tells Lee, look, I think Nim was right about one thing. My priorities have not been focused on the right thing. But it hasn't been a choice. We focus about this Dreamhunter now, but afterwards I want to focus on you.
Lee just kisses Ali.
Which yeah. Ali kisses back and smiles and cries a little, and tries to blink back the tears. But she's like, I never want to let go of this joy.
Lee,
even if it's temporary.
Lee sort of stands up and holds out her hand. May I have the hat? Our hat, ma'am?
Ali laughs and wipes a tear away and then gives her the hat.
Lee takes the hat, stands up, tips her hat, and she says, well, I suppose if we're going to survive this and get to see that joy on the other side, I better go show these fools how to hunt. Darling. She gives Ali one last kiss and turns around and strides off, beginning to find people. A crowd sort of forms around her as she gathers them, ready to show them how to hunt. Anything else from Requin or Ali or Eska?
I will go over to Mino, and I'm assuming Hala has experience making weapons, and go ask them if they like assistance or to help me, and then sort of get Mino to lead the way back to his caravan, and we'll spend the day making armor and weapons.
Yeah. Hala says, I don't know how to use them. I don't know how to make them, but I know how to use them.
Surely you know how to sharpen them.
I'll show these villagers how to do it. And she gathers a group around herself as well. Mino rushes back, ready to prepare weaponry, armor, whatever's needed. You've never seen quite so much focus in his eyes as he sort of shuffles away.
Eska would follow him.
Ali, what are your plans while Eska is off building things and making armor and Lee is off teaching people to hunt and fight?
It is gonna go to Georgie about setting traps, I guess.
Ooh, nice. Georgie like just looks at you and looks at Lelia. Lelia nods, and Georgie's like, it's about damn time.
Oh my god. And I promised Georgie that I'll teach her the card trick.
She like looks, and that Lelia sort of looks down, and she's like, maybe later. First, let's get these traps going, eh?
Oh, of course.
So, I remember this one that I got stuck in. It went like this. She just like rattles on about this complicated trap. We should spend time being nice to Elisa.
Look, she's not nice to anyone?
Yeah. Requin's very nice, but just not to anyone. Is that a fair assumption?
Depending on the person.
What is Requin doing to prepare?
She will stand up and wander back to her room in the wagon, sit at her desk and begin strategizing and planning for what this Dreamhunter is capable of and how on earth do we make people useful who are pretty weak.
True. As everyone
Well,
begins...
Like, no matter how many weapons you give them, they're not going to be... Right.
True. As everyone begins preparing, you know that there is a desperate fight ahead. Looking around, you know that not everyone will make it, but they've decided to stay and fight. The least you can do is make sure that they are as prepared as possible. And you begin to sense that final end. There is like a breath being drawn in, a calm before a storm, the silence before battle. It will begin soon. Well done, team.
Yay.
That was interesting. I was not expecting... I was expecting there to be some more... some more ability by the Dreamhunter to hold you at bay. But when Nim rolled 100%, it's like, wow. Like, realistically, cannot, like, hide it. Like, literally, he's just been cornered. And then those cards, like, are you kidding me? That was all randomly drawn as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was insane. And
Yeah.
I was doing it as the intent that I had the control over the deck, and then the cut was my final card, that it wasn't. But then it's just like, reveal, shit.
yeah. How about Ali getting the tower? Like,
What?
for the past,
What?
are you kidding me? Like, it literally, word for word in this damn book, it literally says the tower is the collapse of beliefs or material structures that we hold dear. It is the non-resistance where we can find peace and wisdom. Like, your past literally collapsing beliefs and material structures that you hold dear. Like, how did you draw that randomly?
I don't know.
So good. So good.
But you like her present and future. Like
Yeah.
her present not having her priorities sorted, which we figured out in the last roleplay that Ali does not have her priorities sorted.
Yeah.
And in the future, expanding influence and making progress, and we literally just recruited everyone.
Yeah. Pretty good. Magma 9,
What?
I think you asked where I got the cards from. I actually got them from a bookshop. They are... Oh, hold on. Let me go back to the main camera here as well. They're D&D tarot cards. The Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck. They are freaking amazing. They're some of the nicest cards I've ever seen. So, I've been using them actually at the club all year, at the D&D club that I'm a part of, to, like, as the quest prompts. So every week I draw a card and make the quest based on that. So, yeah.
Can't believe it was Nim.
Yeah. It wasn't going to be honest. There was the front runner. I actually had this. I did this the other day when we were doing the board. We were doing the board of. No, that's. Yeah, that's what I want. When we were doing the board, I actually did a lineup of where I felt the most likely to the least likely was. Nim was second place, actually.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Who's
Who do you
first?
think was first place? If you had to guess, you get one guess each.
Alestra?
Okay. We have a Halestra from Eska. Reckman, I heard you say something.
I said, what?
Oh, what?
And yeah, I'll throw out the random guess of Wallace.
Yeah, and Ali?
No, I was not expecting it to be someone that we weren't suspecting at all.
Yeah.
So I was like expecting it to be Georgie or Seth.
Yeah, Fet was in the running, so there was 8 of them total that were in the running to be the Dreamhunter. The lowest likelihood, in my opinion, based on how they had acted and how the story had progressed, was Elisar. Still in the running, but unlikely to be the Dreamhunter. Fet was number 2. Again, unlikely, but capable of being the Dreamhunter. Orthair, Worrell, and then sort of something that could have been really unusual to play with was Tobia and Hensel. They were 4 and 3 respectively, and then Nim was 2, and number 1 was Hollis.
Wow.
Yeah, Hollis, I guess, had the most potential because they were the most secretive, and it would have been a really easy storyline to build out them, like the reason why they were banished from their herd, from their grove.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so like there was a load of people that were like just excluded. Like Grolp, definitely not. Halestra, definitely not. Lelia and Georgie and Pat and Hala and Minnow. Just storyline had just sort of excluded them and they didn't fit anymore. But yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least we didn't kill anyone that was innocent.
That's true. That's true. I just can't believe we rolled 100% like for Nim.
Oh.
It was just it was I literally stopped dead for like 10 seconds, just looked at the dice. I was like, what?
This was meant to be.
Yeah, I was like, literally, you were visiting 4 people. So the idea being just to randomize it, because I wanted to know by the end of this episode, I wanted to know who the Dream Hunter was. So I was randomly rolling percentage dice and just keeping track of who rolled highest. And then I was also going to roll for the other people that were on that list as well in secret. So it could have been someone you just didn't expect. But when I got up to Nim and just randomly rolled 100%, I was like, oh, well, I guess that solves that problem. Yep. This shit's going down right now. Nim might be able to talk their way out of it. But just, I don't know. Ali and then Eska sort of pushed all the right buttons.
Yeah.
And particularly Eska just had that vendetta.
Yeah, no, he hated her from the beginning. The second he met her, he was like, no, you're not right. But I do need to go. Thank you for tonight, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, team. We'll go raid someone, and then we'll be all finished. Who's doing a stream? Who's doing a things? You know who I haven't raided in a while is Mega. Should go raid Mega. They're a freaking legend. Not doing D&D, but they are absolutely crazy, and I've subbed to their channel for 29 months. So that's pretty insane. Okay. We are going to raid them. Thank you so much, team. I know Eska had to go, but you two are awesome. This was very fun and heartbreaking.
Yes, thank you.
But at least we have
Extremely
some closure now.
intriguing. Yeah,
I don't
feel
know how I
great
feel
about
about that. Oh, you feel good? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like knowing.
Yeah, nice.
I guess the uncertainty is nice, but
Yeah,
I like knowing.
yeah. Now we can really play. Now we can really play a bit more traditional. Got to take out the Dreamhunter, but again, it's still a weird creature. So this will be fun.
Great.
Okay, I better let you go. I have released you from your Dungeons and Dragons servitude for this evening. You have a lovely evening. Everyone else, goodbye. Say goodbye to chat and to YouTube in the future.
Bye,
Bye.
chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Streaming into